When I first started my garden 2 years ago in 2020, I bought several plants from local sellers off of Craigslist, and this is one that I bought. We were calling it a reed, and then the guy that was propagating it told me that he thinks it is either Juncus parryi or Juncus bullanderi. I've been looking online. I think it's Juncus parryi. Most of the plants that I have are 3 to 4 feet tall, although I've got one across the pond that is about as tall as I am. We'll look at that in just a second. You could say that this plant is invasive because of how quickly it, or I guess how aggressively it spreads and reproduces. This whole area down here below this butia, the whole ground is just covered in this stuff. But that's okay with me because it doesn't seem to choke out the other plants, and it's a good looking plant. It stays evergreen all year long, and it's pretty well behaved, even though it fills in an area really quick. It still seems pretty well behaved. This is what most of it looks like right now. It's starting to flower, even though those aren't pretty flowers, of course. I believe those turn into seed pods, and then those seeds scatter just in the wind or whatever, and they self-sow and reproduce. I don't know how else it could reproduce so prolifically. I don't think it could do that through rhizomes or runners or anything. This is the biggest clump that I have. I started with 2 pots, and now I think I've got 16 or 18 clumps of this stuff over a course of 2 years. But I've cut this back a bunch because it was leaning over this little dock that I have going into the pond. But this one is, let's see, there is eye level right there, and then that's about as tall as I am, 5'7" or so. So I believe this is Juncus parryi. If someone knows it to be something different, please tell me. But this has so far proven to be a pretty nice plant I have here in the garden. It's also really useful because it self-propagates so much for filling in blank spaces. I've got lots of blank space over here, and I've started putting that stuff over there. And within the next year, that area is going to really green up and stop looking so brown and bare. So I like it, and if you know that it is something other than Juncus parryi, please tell me. Thanks.